Okay, I'm replacing the anode rod or sacrificial rod in my Bradford white water heater. Um, this is actually the second time I'm replacing it. My water heater's 16 years old, and I would like it to last longer if possible. Everyone else I know in my development, all these houses were built at the same time. They're on their second water heater, but I replaced this on the advice of a friend probably like 7 years ago. I want to say it was like 2015. So at that point, the rod was what, like 7 or 8 years old, and now this one's been in there since then. And I did pull it out last year and look, and it looked like it was on its last legs. So I bought another one, and I'm going to throw that in there. In order to get it out, what I find is the best way is hook the hose up to the outlet. Last night I turned the hot water heater off. There's actually just a lever right there. I have that set to off. It's down. I turned the gas off. I turned the water off, that right there, that lever that goes to the hot water heater. This is actually on right now. I'll tell you why I have it on. But this is also my main supply. I have a main supply there and there. There's two different turn off spots. I turned this one off. It was easier to reach. The only reason I think you'd have to turn that one off is that comes directly from the street. As if you're changing that controls the water pressure there. I forget what that's called, some kind of regulator. I replaced that about a year ago or two. And then if you're changing the meter, then you'd have to turn that one off. But so I only turned that one off. And then I opened up a faucet. I have PEX. I opened up a faucet upstairs in the bathroom. It's the closest one. I know some people say, I'll do the furthest one, but I don't think it matters because they're all plumbed into this single PEX. So I did that one. I opened that up. That's running to my sump, which is all the way in that door back there. You can see it back there. So I have that going into there. Opened that up, and it actually wasn't allowing any water out. And I'm like, what's going on? So I had that opened, and I had that actually set to off, so I had it closed. So I opened that back up, and that allowed water in, and that actually makes sense because I guess that was allowing all the cold water. So the cold water comes in there, comes in from the street, comes in there, goes in here to get heated, but then also goes across to my PEX. And I guess that was causing too much of a vacuum, so it wasn't letting water out there. But this also, when I opened up the faucet upstairs, it allowed all the air to come out. Otherwise, this thing would be dripping right now. So what happens is, that is usually attached to that. That's my anode rod. So the anode rod is both the outlet to the water heater and the rod on the bottom. I'll pull it out in a second and show you. I haven't looked at it yet this time. But water comes into the heater there, goes into the bottom, gets heated, comes out the top through my anode rod. I took that off. You can see in the past it's a little boogered up on the bottom of the copper here, or brass or whatever, from using pipe wrenches. But this time I just undid that with a crescent wrench, adjustable. This is a long one. It's 12 inches. Gives you more leverage. I took that off. That just spins off. And then you could see that guy, he doesn't have any way to, he has like no hex to grab onto with a crescent wrench. So you have to use a pipe wrench on that. So I loosened it with this. Let me move this out of the way. I just put this on there like that and slowly turned. And I didn't have a ton of room because, you know, all over the place. The only way it really can reach that there. So I had to like do it inch by inch right here. Just being careful not to hit this gas line. Did turn the gas off. I think I said that already. So anyhow, I got that loose. I'll pull this out. And here it is. And there actually is some more meat on the bone. And I could probably, if I wanted to, let that go another year. But I don't want to get to the point where there's nothing left on it. Honey, yeah, I was probably, I was worried there was like nothing left on it, but this would still be working. But you could see it's eating off the top, eating off the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and replace this, just as it's a lot of effort to get to this point. You don't want to be doing this like every year, taking this out to inspect it. So I'll just set that aside for now. My new rod, I actually haven't even pulled it out of the package. It came from, I think it was like Supply Depot. I have the receipt somewhere. I was looking at it upstairs, but there's my receipt. Supply House, I forget where I get it from, but it was the cheapest one I could find. And they're, because of inflation and stuff, they like double the price now, but I think they're originally I got it for like 20 or 30 bucks. Now they're like 60, 70, 80. But yeah, Supply House is where I got it from. And this new rod is longer, and I might need to trim it. I didn't buy the exact replacement from a length perspective because it was a lot more money. So I actually got a longer one, which should have actually more meat on the bone. And if we compare, it's what, like a good maybe 4 inches longer or something. So I might have to trim the bottom of this off. I won't know until I could actually pop it in there and see if it reaches. I don't want to be screwing that in and then this is pushing down on the bottom and I destroy my water heater that way. And because it has this stuff on there, I don't even think I'm going to need Teflon tape, but I could always just use some just in case, I guess. But I'm curious if it does hit the bottom right away, and I'm not going to let this drop and smash in there. You can hear it's pretty empty in that water heater because I let all the water out. I think it's just going to fit. It seems to not hit the bottom. So I think I'm good. I guess it's still slightly risky. But I was getting it right onto there. I don't think it would be okay. I could probably, if I pulled it up to it, if it's screwed in about that far, maybe like that, it's probably not on the bottom of the tank, but I'll try to tell. I think I'd be okay. So that's that. I made sure all the thread patterns and everything like that is the same, so that should just thread right in there. I think it just has a slightly, I think the yeah, it looks the same. If I lift this up, and that's just a little bit longer at the top, but that shouldn't matter at all. Just the top's a little longer. The bottom actually is not really much longer at all. So it's just a little bit at the top, and that just hangs out. Who cares? Who cares if that's a little longer up there? I don't think that should make a difference. I think I'll be good. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Then I'll have to turn everything back on. Actually, before I turn everything back on, I'm going to turn on the water over there and let it flush hit the bottom. Like if I turn it on right now, it should run through here, run down that tube. I mean, there is a T-junction, so a little might make it pass, but it should mostly come down here. Hit that and wash the bottom out and get more of whatever sediment or crap that's in the bottom out. Make your unit a little more efficient. So I'm going to do that. And then just put that back in, and I think I'll be good to go. So if you got any questions, let me know. Like and subscribe. See you guys.